Hi, hello and welcome. Today I want to review my speed reviews. I have done 3 speed reviews over the past 4 months, I think, maybe even 5, and I re-watched them to write down my notes on those products and how do I feel currently about them, because I do have a new speed review coming, but I feel like, speed review is nice because all the products that are in there have been tested for a several amount of time, but opinions can change, your taste can change, so I thought it might be a good idea to just review everything. So I'm always prepared. I wrote it down. So you see, there are a couple of products that we need to talk about, so let's get right into it. Starting off with the Made by Mitchell Pore Paste. As you see, I still have it here. I still love it. I think it is a great primer. And honestly, the Pore Paste is very similar to primers that are currently trending, like Huda Beauty's Easy Blur, or primers that used to be very on trend, like the Glowish Blur Jam, or the Milk Pore Eclipse primer, the Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte primer. It is a thicker silicone primer and I really like this. I use this now with nearly all of my foundations, especially in the summertime, because it just is a nice mattifying pore filling primer. Does it make me stay matte the whole day? Absolutely not. But I like the way it makes my foundation look and how it holds up through the day. Talking about foundation, the Glossier Stretch Foundation. I think I even declared in that speed review for the fact that first of all, the shade completely off. And the second reason is that it just slipped. I applied it. I could even have set it down with powder, with setting spray, and then put finishing powder on top. And I can do this on my face and the whole foundation would be gone. So I decluttered that, but let me grab it. What I actually kept, and I still stand by my opinion from that speed review, the Glossier Stretch Concealer. And as you can see, I have quite a dip in it already because this was actually throughout the very hot days my go-to concealer, since it does cover my thingies here, but it did not feel overly heavy, so I really enjoyed wearing this in the hot days. I now have some powders on my list, starting with the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Pressed Powder. I'm actually wearing this today because I am currently using it again. I have been on a very loose powder heavy love sailboat through the summer, but this powder, whenever I used it since that speed review, I just love it. It is so freaking thin. It actually reminds me of an Ultra HD finely milled dusty everywhere powder that when you apply this and you then touch your face, you just feel like velvet. I like this powder very much, and this is a potential repurchase once this is empty. What I do not have anymore is the Natasha Denona, the Hy-Glam, Hy-Glam? The High Anything Powder Foundation. I gave it a fairly good review in my speed reviews, and I still think it is a fairly good powder, but what I just realized is it is too thick. It looks so freaking thick, and maybe me decluttering it was a mistake because maybe in the winter time I like it more. I used it mainly throughout the summer month, but we had also some cooler month and it doesn't matter. Skin tint, serum foundation, regular foundation. It just looks good the first 10 minutes and then it started to look so cakey and heavy. I just had to let go of it. Talking about fine powders, this is the Trigwell Cosmetics Setting Powder. It's in the shade Translucent. Not sure if they have other shades, I don't know. If so, the link is down below and you can choose them, but this is a good one. This is a really good powder. I heard about this for the very first time, I think in a review from Robert Welsh. He tried some Trigwell Cosmetics because it was kind of trending in the UK, and I don't hear anybody talking about this. And the only website where I saw Trigwell anyway is Beautifier, which is a UK retailer. So I guess it's a UK brand, is it? I don't know. Does it say here? Yeah, PO Box in UK is the address of them. So I don't know who's behind that. What's this? Is it a professional brand? Is it not? All I can say is it is a very, very fine powder. Like, fine to, if you remember, where is it? Let me grab it. If you remember my review on the MAC Studio Fix Translucent Powder, Studio Fix Pro Set and Blur, I told you that this is so fine that when you open it, it comes out like a ghost. This is the same fine milled quality that I actually like in a powder. It is a bit tricky to use sometimes because it can go up your nose, it does everywhere, but it just feels very good at the end, and it sets down your makeup in the most detailed, fine, blurred way. My surprise powder love of 2024 so far is honestly the Tarte Creaseless powder. This is, I don't know what I expected, but when I saw the advertisement for that, the post, the Instagram, whatever, I immediately knew that I want to try this, and all of the shades pink and lavender. Pink, I at this point declared because I said in my review that I think the pink powder is a bit too dark for being a pink powder that matches my skin tone. So I kept lavender one, and very, very recently the translucent one finally became available again on the website, and I immediately bought it together with the Creaseless Creamy Concealer that will be featured in the next speed review. But the powder, honestly, I'm already working on my rankings for the end of the year videos, but it's going to be a tie probably between Huda Beauty, Easy Bake, and this, because this is as good, if not better. Now we have a bronzer that, without recommendation of my beautiful subscribers, I would not have tried. The RMS Hydra bronzer in Beach Betty. Beach Betty was my best friend through the summer whenever I wanted to bronze the face. It is the perfect shade if you are somewhat near my skin tone. So we're talking MAC NC10, for example. Chanel, this is the #1 foundation. I'm in BD01. I'm a Lisa Eldridge skin tint in TT2. Yes, no, T2, made by Mitchell. I'm a TT1 or 3. Let me look. TT3. That's just how pale I am. And this is the perfect bronzer for the pale girls. The biggest downside is the packaging. The RMS ones, they are refillable, so you basically can take that out and then just pop it back in. But I feel like with the bronzer packaging, they changed something because it just snaps out so easy. And I have blushes of that line. I have the highlighter, and they did not come out so easy. Staying with the bronzer, the Makeup by Mario Bronzing Serum. It's like the weirdest release of 2024 because this has a doe foot and a pump. And in my bronzer series where I showed you everything applied, I also showed how this works because the doe foot has a hole in here, and when you use the pump, it gets sucked through that hole. I used quite a bit of it. First of all, this is so fucking sheer that depending on how you want to bronze up your face, this might need up to 3 layers. But that is exactly what makes this bronzer one of the best in my collection. And honestly, this is a potential #1 of this year because of the sheerness, of the buildability. It is just foolproof and a very, very good beginner liquid bronzer in my opinion. Then we have some Rituel the Fille products that I for the first time tried in the past months, and I fell in love. Let's start with the Inner Glow cream pigments. I have 2 shades that I actually use as contours. One is the shade Intuition, the perfect cool toned, real contour for pale girls. And then also the shade Eclipse. I got this because I thought this might be a nice lilac gothic-y purple blush. But honestly, this is more a contour for me. And if you think, well, but this is purple, why can you use it as contour? Because a shadow is not gray, a shadow has color. And for my skin tone and undertone, purple leaning contours are the ones that work the best for me. I also have another shade in those Inner Glow pigments. This is the shade Nymph, a beautiful red cream blush. And also a red cream blush is the shade Bloodflower, but this is a different formulation. This is the Colornectar Pigment Balm. The color balms are a tad bit more shine through and see through compared to the Inner Glow cream pigments. They are more like satin creams, and this is a shiny, wet looking cream. But I love them a lot. I've been using them a lot, and I love these products from Rituel the Fille. They're very expensive, but they're in my opinion worth the price. Next up on the Rituel the Fille agenda, I have the, what are they called? The Rare Light Cream Luminizer. And in that first review that I did, I showed you the shade Ghost Light. This is one of those translucent, shifty purple highlighters. And well, what can I tell you? I got 3 more. I got the shade Ice Bow too, and I think this shifts blue. I haven't touched Ice Bow yet. Then I also have the shade Spectre. I think this is more pinky looking. And from the collab with As Andromedae, I also have the shade Borealis, and I surprisingly love this. I also added from the highlighter series the Highlight Intensifier in the shade Alchemist. I think they only have one. And this is a very weird thing. This is basically a highlight topper to intensify that and add glitter. It adds an ethereal glitter. I love that. Back to the bronzer. One of them that I've been testing and reviewing for you is the Too Faced, what are they exactly called? The melting, bronzing, and sculpting thing in the shade Chocolate Mousse. Remember, that was the speed review where I tasted this because, oh, it smells so like chocolate. And I said that this is a bit too emollient for me, and I'm not sure if I really like it, but I do, because I started to use finally a brush with it, very light hand, and then you have a beautiful bronzy look. Definitely not contour or sculpting as it says, definitely a bronzer. Moving back to the highlighter, the Natasha Denona High Gen Skincare Infused Glow Beautifier. Oh, I loved it back then, I loved it in my first impression, and I can't stop loving it. I think that's all I need to say. Then we have a little face palette. This is the Bellabeautebar Oracle Chrome Highlighter Palette. I got this when it was finally restocked, and I still love it. I haven't been using it so much lately because I have been more into sparkly ethereal and not so much shifty highlighters, but it's a very good one. And if you want to see this in comparison with other highlighter palettes, I do have a swatch flicks and chill for that. Then we have the Lisa Eldridge, the new lip balms that she came out with. What are they called? Does it say here? It doesn't. But these are like melting or balmy lipsticks that you applied. And in my speed review, I said I don't like them because I feel like they have a very, very heavy, plasticky, lingering scent and taste on them. And that has not changed much. I have used them again, yes. By the way, I do have the shades Sweet Fig here. And then I also have the shades, the shade Metropolis. It has not changed. Whenever I apply them, and I gave them so many fair shots now, it feels good, it's nice, but as soon as I like breathe in, it's like this heavy and consuming a cloud of plastic. And I don't know what exactly that is in here. It seems like I'm not the only one, because after that speed reviews, some people commented and DM'd me that they have a similar experience, especially with Sweet Fig. I still keep them because I still want to give them chances, but honestly, chances are high that these will be decluttered. Another one of those lip balmy lipsticks is the YSL Candy, the new ones. And I have the shade 6B. I think it's called Nude Anything. And that one I really love. It is not as opaque or as intensely pigmented as the Lisa Eldridge ones, but it goes on quite thin, but it feels very, very good. And this has kind of become my go-to lipstick to apply when I just don't know what to wear. Then we had the Armani Prisma glosses. I had 2 full sizes and 1 mini. I decluttered all of them because no, the plastic times 100. No, thank you. I don't know why people love them. They look nice, but also the Made by Mitchell Mattitudes. I had 2 of them and I showed you even a demo in the speed reviews on how dry they look and how weird they look. I ended up decluttering them. Same for the Makeup by Mario Balms. They're still in a testing and gathering thoughts process. I think my main problem here I have with Nude Glow, because that is like constantly breaking off. The other shades, the darker ones, these I start to love. 2024 is the year of melting lipsticks, lip balm things. The Fenty Gloss Sticks is basically their gloss formulation in a stick format, and I freaking love them. If you haven't tried these yet and you love melting and soft lip balms but with pigment and shine, Fenty Gloss Sticks is it. The Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Skin Sheer Glow Tint that is marketed as a skin tint or like foundation is not a foundation stick. I even did a comparison in a shorts video with the Hollywood Flawless Filter because I said this is Hollywood Flawless Filter but in a stick format, and I'm right, it is. It's very glowy. I do like it. I don't want to say that I don't like it, but I think it's just fucking overpriced. You pay €55 for 9 grams of product. Hollywood Flawless Filters in the same price category, but you get 30 ml. Then we have some foundations now again to talk about. By the way, this is in the order that I talked about them in the speed reviews, not like per category or so. I rediscovered for myself the Armani Luminous Silk foundation. I used it years ago. I hated it. I use it now with my more matured skin. Like I'm in the beginning of the 30s, and when I used it for the very first time, I was in my 20s and it looked horrible. It didn't work. I had very oily skin back then. Now I have normal skin and now I love this foundation. The Tier foundation I just bought because I thought the hype can't be that real, but the hype is real. I absolutely adore this cushion foundation. It looks very dark here, but believe me, I'm wearing the shade 13 and it is a nearly perfect color match. It is full coverage without feeling full coverage. It does not get cakey. It wears throughout hot days, cold days, workouts. Honestly, try it. Fuck the hype. Fuck the virality. Get this. And then we have the Lumine. Someone told me how to pronounce it, but I was of course not taking notes for now. But this is a Finnish company, as I learned, and this is the vegan collagen serum and foundation that I bought because of Isamaya French. She talked about this foundation in her Instagram story, said this is the best she ever tried. And while I do not agree that this is the best I ever tried, it is a very, very good one. I'm wearing the shade 00, and as far as I have learned from your comments that these do not have a great shade range, which is because they are a Finnish company and Finnish people tend to be just as white as me, so it's probably very hard to find a shade if you are darker, maybe 10, medium, dark skin, whatever. But I like this. It is very, very light. It is, I'd say, medium to a medium light coverage, but it covers enough to feel good, honestly, but not too much to feel cakey. Is it a foundation that I will keep on raving about? Probably not, but it might just be a foundation here in the mix that is like, it's there and I do not regret when I use it. I have the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Lift and Flex Concealer. First of all, I hate the name. Second of all, these are so full coverage. They're like wall paint, but they are good. They stay on, they keep you covered the whole day. They do not slip off. But I'm not a fan of the shade range because this white paint here is the shade 1 and this yellow paint is the shade 2. The difference between them is just so heavy. I can make them work both depending on the foundation that I'm wearing. I don't want to hold up all of them, so I just show you one, the Hourglass Liquid Unreal Blushes. I fell in love with them head over heels after I tried the first 3 shades. Then I went back, bought 2 more, and I can't stop. I want to have more shades in this, and I want to have contour and highlight in this formulation. The Haus Labs Glassy Stick Blushes. I don't like them. Honestly, I think I do not like them. I have been featuring the Glossy Acai in my short series. I don't know if you saw this already because I'm pretty ahead with the videos. But when you see this, you will see how patchy this goes on. And that is just a problem I just am not able to fix. No matter what I do, no matter what brush I use, it just goes on patchy. And I'm not applying these with a sponge. I don't want that. If a product does not work with my regular techniques, so that means brushes, and I'm willing to test out brushes all over the place as soon as it works, or as long as it works. But these, I can't get them to work, honestly. Please give me your last tip before these end up in the declutter bin. I'm also not holding up all of them. The Armani Luminous Silk Cheek Tints, chef's kiss. These were the reason I have 4 shades of them now that I decluttered the majority of my Rare Beauty ones, because these are so much better. They are a tad bit thinner in my opinion, but just as impactful and pigmented, but easier to blend too. And the last 2 products I have here are blushes / a blush duo. One is the MAC Glow Play in Big Diva Energy, is one of their newer newer shades, not formulations. I love the Glow Play formula, but I hate that shade. Honestly, when you look at this, do you not expect a dark oxblood blush color? Yeah, you get a hot pink magenta. Sorry, I'm really disappointed in that. And then we have this blush duo. This is the Jardin Imaginaire. I don't know, I'm very bad at French. It's a blush and highlighter duo, and this is the light and berry version. I think it was part of the summer collection or so. I love this. I'm actually wearing this today, and I really enjoy both the highlighter and the blush. What I still hate is the small pan. Why didn't they put this in the big component as they did the highlighter from last year, and then 2 bigger pans? Maybe thinner blush layer, yes, but the small pan is just killing me. And here you have it. This is the review of my speed reviews, and make sure you're subscribed because I have an upcoming speed review. And what is going to be featured? The foundation stick from Dior, the Huda Easy Blur line will be featured, MAC Radiance Concealer, Tarte Creaseless Creamy Concealer, and so much more. The list is getting there. So thank you so much. Let me please know down below if you have tried any of these products and you maybe have an opinion on them. Let me know. You can also let me know what you have tested lately and give me your thoughts. I'm happy to see that. Thank you so much. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.